Yo, guys, what's going on? Hope you're enjoying your holiday weekend, your 3-day weekend. Today, being a holiday, we don't see traditional markets trading. Bitcoin, of course, never stops trading, so we're here. Hope everyone's enjoying a beer, a smoke, a burger, or hot dog, whatever it is you enjoy. I want to do stuff just a little differently for the start of this. We're going to go through kind of the biggest gainers and losers, a little market watch. Then there's actually some pretty interesting news that's been going on. We don't talk about news often here because too often it's used basically as a distraction. But we have some big stuff, so I want to go over that quick. Don't forget to smash those like buttons. Let's get to 420 likes. Let's get our 420 license going for the day. And check out our sponsors. Links in the video description below. Highly recommend you check out all those links. Help support the stream, etc. You know, it's the 4th of July. We ain't doing too much chilling. All right. So let's do market cap. Who are our biggest winners in the last 24 hours? We see Rune, Sand. I'm going to skip Terra Classic. Arweave, Quant, Celsius, DeFi, and BTT about 10% up to 16% with Rune. Looking over here at the 7-day change, it doesn't really look like they're breaking out, so I don't know if we're really going to take time to look at them today. Our biggest losers: Evmos, T-Fuel Chain, 10-cent Gate. I don't even know what half of these are. I do know what Theta Fuel is. Down 4% today, but it's been hovering around this 5-cent mark for the last 2-3 weeks. Not a big change. Never heard of Evmos. It's interesting. I only really look at the top 100-ish for these streams simply because it's more entertaining. People aren't all looking at some small cap thing. But since the sell-off, it's interesting. One, we're seeing that the top 100 no longer billion-dollar market caps. It used to be you had to be over $1 billion to be in the top 100. Not anymore. Evmos with not even $500 million and still in the top 100. Interesting. Not really going to spend much time there. Nothing super interesting that I'm seeing here. Tether at $1. Surprising. Tether at $1. So yeah, let's look at some news here quick. I think this is an interesting take. I hadn't really thought of it this way. Tesla, Block, MicroStrategy, basically every FOMO company that jumped in to Bitcoin onto their balance sheets, definitely looking at some pretty deep unrealized losses. Some of them maybe realized, but not to our knowledge. Something to keep in mind about. I don't think that it's a huge deal. These big companies aren't paper hands in the way that, I don't know, your best friend down the street might be. They go into the red, they're not immediately going to sell. And if that was the case, they would have already sold. Tesla jumped in, I think it was in the low 40s, maybe ish, like that, somewhere around there. MicroStrategy much lower. I don't actually know what the Block, I don't really know their average, but if these places were going to paper hands, I think they would have already. We've seen MicroStrategy actually buy more Bitcoin since the fall, which has been blowing my mind. He was like kind of just buying when price was up all the time. I was like, why is no one helping Saylor with this? Like manage it in a way where, I don't know, you buy when it gets lower. Seemed he was buying on the way up. Good to see buys on the way down. ADA, this is where I said basically there's some big news. So this isn't really tradable. I don't think news is super tradable unless it comes out of nowhere. There's no warning. There was warning for this, so likely baked in. But ADA set for or imminent, I guess I thought it actually already had happened, for their Vassal hard fork. I don't even know what this really offers. Do you guys out in the chat, if you're here, let me know. Let me know. I'm looking at the chat. Vanessa, good to see you, darling. Jacqueline was here. Gabe and my brother, William S. Good to see you guys. If you're here, just say something in the chat. Let's get a little hype going. Get the chat moving. The upgrades will be live in the mainnet as soon as late July. I guess it's another one of those it will come eventually thing. The Vassal testnet began late last night. Okay, that's where the big news is the testnet is officially live. So they're basically checking to see in reality if this is going to work, if it needs fixes or not. Cardano's smart contract functionality initially was very simple, and this meant it was difficult for decentralized applications to deploy. I think that is what Vassal's hoping to tackle here. What's up, Adam? Crypto Doc, Omar, Thoth, Stuart Anderson. Crown live on the 4th of July. That's right, Philip. This is what we do. We're live. We don't care when it is. It's Christmas, 4th of July. We're here. The last, and we're going to move on from the news because I know you guys aren't all about news. Vauld becoming the latest in the exchanges to collapse. Guys, this is the big lead up I was getting into for our lesson today. In crypto, we got a little too comfortable. Mt. Gox, people who were around during the Mt. Gox era are still uncomfortable, but it's been many years up until 2022 that we saw really fear, insolvency, or withdrawals pausing on any kind of major exchange. I'm sure there were little one-offs here and there, but we got too comfortable, especially with the lending platforms. I myself was guilty of this. Not your keys, not your coins. It sounds cliche, but it's so important. That is why we're here, to control our finance. When we put our coins or our assets onto a centralized platform, we are no longer in control of our assets, and we're at their mercy. This seemingly started with Celsius, Three Arrows Capital. I doubt we have much exposure, but you can see just by the vibe right now, when one of these things tanks, the risk goes up. I've been trying to preach that for a while here. The risk of all the other platforms becoming insolvent, and I don't mean they're all going to be, but any given one becomes greater. What does that mean? In my opinion, it means it's time. If you haven't, look into cold storage. I have 95+% of my portfolio or my assets now in my own wallet, safe from whatever shenanigans are going on right now. And I'm not going to leave them there forever, but I'm going to wait till this storm passes. There has been entirely too much risk right now. Entirely. And when the market calms down, that means both volatility-wise, price-wise, we're going to look for a price recovery. And this sounds messed up, but maybe if they introduce some kind of regulation to these lending platforms, something that will make it safer for the consumers. I will say they were as safe as can be until Celsius fell. Now they don't seem very safe. I withdrew everything. Unfortunately, I do have a little bit of assets, a few $1,000s on Celsius, so I'm in the same boat as lots of you. This is another kind of additional learning lesson, is not just self-custody, but splitting up your assets. If you're going to use centralized exchanges, which you almost certainly are in your crypto journey, split up where you have your asset. You never want to have a single point of failure, meaning you never want to have all of your assets on even something like Coinbase, something like Binance. You want to split it up. If one of them falls through, you can't suffer a total loss. That is the biggest thing that you need to avoid as a trader, and that is total loss. So this is as good of a time as any to remember those lessons. If you're trading on exchanges like I am, split up what exchanges you're trading on. You don't want to have a large percent of your portfolio in any one spot. And right now, these risks are so much heightened, especially with the macroeconomic environment we're seeing right now. Stocks tanking. We're going to have the Fed speaking, I believe, in about 10 days. We're going to see if rate hikes are coming, more red for the market. We'll find out. But these are, I can sit here and show you charts all day, but no amount of charts is going to be more valuable than those two things: self-custody and split up your assets. Never, ever have a single point of failure. And if you do have one, it has to be your cold wallet, period. No excuses. All right. There we go. Rant over. Thanks for agreeing. Thanks for sitting through me on that. Not your keys, not your coins. Exactly, Unimax. If you guys are out there and you haven't hit that subscribe and like button, please say something in chat. Vote in the polls. Every time you subscribe or like or engage with the stream, YouTube says, hey, people are enjoying this stream. I'm going to show this to new eyes. And that's how our channel grows. And that is all thanks to you guys out there doing a great job. So please keep doing it. I know it's just a click. It feels like placebo. It is not placebo. It makes a difference. All right. We're going to jump into the Bitcoin chart today for today Bitcoin. Sorry, that was terrible. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm going to show you the trade I'm currently in. I'm not going to lie. Not a great feeling trade right now. I am short. I'll get to the details in a second. Then we're going to go look over the more macro chart of Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, all your favorites. Don't worry. As the markets get thinner here and the traffic thins out, we're going to probably cover these large caps more often than we have been. So right now I am in an uncomfortable short position, and if you can see this chart, which you probably can't see that well, it's so pulled over. Let me see if I can fix this quick. There we go. Anyway, I think that fixed it. As you can see, uncomfortable because I've entered just about at the exact value we have been talking about over and over and over again, which is 2021's open, 19,900, we'll call it. I've been playing this level in both directions. You guys have seen me go long there. You've seen me go short there. Currently short and uncomfortable as price pushed through in the last few hours today. If you're watching the charts, you've absolutely seen, we'll just go to the hourly here. You've absolutely seen these top wicks on these hourly candles, and they're threatening to my short. Absolutely. Not super comfortable, so I've moved my stop loss on this trade down to basically just above those highs in the 20.1 areas. I'm still not comfortable there. I feel we could get a wick to the upside and then crash down, leaving me without my short. Either way, if that stop gets hit, I'm looking to start re-adding at our important resistant values that we've talked about time and time again, but we'll do it again. About 20,400. Above that, nearer to 20,006 or 20,900. And then I really don't have much until what is the 200 weekly moving average. We've fallen through. We have not recovered yet. We have not recovered it. This is very unusual. It's only happened really one time in Bitcoin's history to see weeklies close below the 200 and chill there. That was in 2015. It is a cycle of firsts. I plan on putting out a video called This Cycle of Firsts Bitcoin. Pretty easy, pretty simple trade. Looking to get stopped out if price really can break through this high. I'll re-add higher. And if not, I'm looking to ride this short down. You can see I have take profit set. I will be net long, it looks like, right? I'll be net long by the time if these all fill. That'll actually be very uncomfortable to be net long at 17.5, but it is what it is. At the moment, we're down 0.5%. You can see price really flirting with 19.9. That's why we've been trading this value. It's an important value to the chart. Wow. On the 5 minute, looks like it's found some support here, but that support's been tested multiple times. We're going to have to see what the rest of the chart's showing us. So let me just say thanks for being here. Happy 4th to everybody. I didn't want to say 4th too much in the beginning because then people tomorrow might tune in and then be like, it's the 4th. I don't want to watch this. It's old. But happy 4th, everybody. Good to see you, David Pinto. Thanks for subscribing, Terrell Morton and GARI Tuek. Hopefully I pronounced those right. Thanks for subscribing, guys. You guys rock. If you're out there and you haven't yet, smash those buttons. Enable notifications. YouTube won't send you them anyway, but it helps the channel. Subscribe, like, vote in the poll. Let's see. 60% of us with only 230 votes. Bullish on the 4th. All right. I'll take it. I'm in a short. It's uncomfortable. I don't know if I want to say I'm bullish here. I'm just overall bullish on life for the 4th of July, though. Unrelated to the charts. This is, let me see. This is the chart we had from our last stream. We identified what looked like a diamond pattern. I have adjusted it since to fit these highs and lows. It's not really playing out like a diamond. A diamond, we wouldn't expect really to have this huge tail end. We'd expect it to be maybe more along the lines of this. But if we move this into, I'll call it a kite, it is pretty clear that this price action has broken out to the upside. It hasn't cleared any significant resistances. Like I said, we're battling with 19.9. A move above 20,004, 20,005, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable in an uptrend. But for now, to me, this kind of just looks like distribution. I know, I don't want to say that. Maybe a reason I'm in this short. We'll see. I'll show you why I think it looks like distribution. If we flip the chart, because our brains just seem to work better when it's flipped. Here's what I find kind of a distribution about it. We had these slightly higher highs that fell down, and we returned. We kind of made that flat top pattern we were looking for. Again, guys, this is upside down. So going up is price going down. Going down is price going up. We didn't really have the flat top that I was looking for. I don't know why. It just doesn't quite look like it. There's something off about it. But the kind of driver for me is our low. We had a trend maybe established here. It looks like we've broken and just not really finding the buyers that we'd like to, despite this very nice kind of rigid rally. To me, this is looking like an ascending wedge. We may see, and that's why I'm uncomfortable in this short, we may see another move before a drop. That's making me a little skeptical, a little hesitant. To take a trade. Perhaps today isn't the day to take a trade. But we go live, so we take trades anyway. Gotta do what we gotta do. Let's see really close price action. Do we have any kind of neat lines that are gonna look right? All right, not bad. Maybe a little. Let me reinvert it. Maybe a little flag painting here. I'm not sold. What we could kind of view this as is some kind of wick off pattern, but we'd have to ignore this high. If it was some kind of wick off pattern, we could say that this maybe is an SOS building above support. That would lead to the breakout, or that would suggest a breakout. Man, I'm very neutral. Let's look at the day. So, needless to say, this is better looking than it has been. Just going to put that out there. Better looking than it has been. But that's not hard to do. This is not really a big thing. We had 4, 6, 7 days of red in a row. Yesterday closed as it was a bullish engulfed doji. I'll give it that. But we had a lower low. We had a higher high. Very indecisive price action. So what I'll say, obviously, this is better than 7 days in a row of red. I do like that this green-bodied candle with 4-5 hours to go is showing some strength. I need to see this close strong. If it doesn't close strong, and that would likely mean stopping out my short, if it doesn't close strong, it really hasn't made progress, and I don't feel good about it. If we even just look at kind of a very simple high trend here on the daily, we can see we haven't even breached that yet. Looking to the left, we have very close to our yearly open of 2021, but also this was daily support back here after the bounce in June. And what we're seeing now is we had a little fake out. We closed above, but then we faked out again into the new quarter to dump down lower. And now we're seeing that basically being tested as resistance. It's not a comfortable spot to be in. That's the reason I'm short. I'm not really bearish on Bitcoin because I never am, but it's not always the right time to long it. So I'm taking the trade, or the side of the trade I think is more probable. And right now, in my opinion, that is short. Remember, none of this is financial advice, guys. Please do your own trades. Don't copy my trades. I lose all the time. I'm not always right. Some people call me an expert. I don't call myself an expert. But here we go. We can see we've already traded up there and price was sold back off. So kind of what I'm looking for today. It is the beginning of the week, so the weekly time frame not going to be really as important. But on the daily, I would like to see a close above 20,000. That would at least show us that the bulls are able to retake some kind of resistance here. That's right around 2021's open, at a very important level. So there's a lot going on here. What would not surprise me, honestly, is to see this sell back down and then have a repeat candle tomorrow. Maybe one more kind of just very sideways price action. And we'll get closer to where these trends are intersecting. That looks like what? The 10th-ish over here. Probably look for a break a day or two before these trend lines cross. So, what? The next 3 or 4 days, hopefully we'll have a resolution. Of course, anything is possible. We could see a breakup or a breakdown here today, but I'm not feeling it. I don't know about you guys. Predictions for Ethereum. We're going to Ethereum next. Don't worry, my friend. Rising wedge on the 15 says lost profit. Exactly what I was kind of like. It's exactly what I was saying here. I don't love this. We could see this paint out as an SOS, but if we do, we're going to have to absolutely see what kind of this level hold. I'm not sold. Not sold on this. I like that our lows are coming up, but our highs are coming up too, and it's just not painting a very comfortable picture for me. I think I made the right play here. I think I made the right play, to be honest. Let's look at really quick. Look at this. So we're going to add a line to this chart for today. Not necessarily even going to interact during this month with it, but high above us at 31.7. That was last month's open. That's going to be, that's far away, man. That's far away. But this is now a level that is important to our chart. If price in this month can move back above 31.7, we're in a bullish engulfing monthly. Things look good. I know that's way too far away to start talking about, but it's never too early to put stuff on your chart that might be important. That would be a 60% upside just to get back to last month's open. That's rough. If you haven't been in Bitcoin in a long time, you may think, oh, that's way too far to be possible. Bitcoin has done crazier things. Absolutely possible, but I don't see it at this point. The quarterly, so this gives us a little bit more time. We have about a month to make it back to 31.7. We have 3 months to make it potentially back to 45.5. I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm bullish. I don't think Bitcoin is done, but I don't know how many eggs I would put in that basket. That seems like a rough call. Would be beautiful. Would be glorious. After all this, guys, how amazing would this be? After all that, if we just got a nice bullish engulfing quarterly that like moved above 58, that would look beautiful. It would be maybe the most savage move Bitcoin's ever made. Who knows? So we have a fresh month. We have a fresh week. We're gonna add. I just lost all my lines for some reason. Guess I have to add visibility. Lame. Weak. Weak. Is it weak, guys? Is it weak? Okay. Make sure this chat's up. I keep losing it. Pop out the chat. There we are. We have 303 votes. Not bad. 365 watching. It's the 4th of July. I'm happy anybody's here. I'd be doing this charting without anyone watching if you guys weren't here, so it's all good. Let's look at the weekly. These are going to be just our like macro above head resistances here. So for bullish engulfing on this weekly, which has almost an entire week to go, 21K, very possible. Definitely not out of the realm of possibility. This would likely be a high confidence place to take a low leverage short. Know your risks before trading. Look at the disclaimer in the video below. But that is a pretty juicy spot I myself may look to take a position. We have an order block here. We talked about this in the last stream from this bearish engulf 3 candle setup on the week. And that setting price 20.5 to 21, $500 range is actually pretty big. But those are both likely, in my opinion, they're both likely to be tested even if 17.5 breaks. That's not a very big retracement. It's a very small move to the upside after such a strong move to the downside. But in the realm of possibility, last week we talked about this. We're going to move on from Bitcoin here quick, but let me finish. Just the last thoughts. We looked at this last week. We had on Market Cypher our green dot, and we were excited, and we had a green dot on our momentum. Very excited. VWAP was coming up. Very excited. But we said the problem is we had this dot last week here, and the weekly was still open. Before the weekly closed, price sold back off. We lost both of these signals. We lost both the greater dot and the momentum dot. And here we are again with 7 days to go. We're watching for this weekly close again to see if we finally get to keep this green dot. If we do, there is likely upside coming, and then in the next weeks to come, it's at least a relief bounce of some kind. RSI is at historic lows on the weekly and monthly for Bitcoin. Never been this low in its history. But what I do like, again, VWAP's coming up. That's building confidence for me that maybe this time will be the time. That green dot, again, though, may only really take us back to this kind of order block area. We'll see. Momentum did close with waning momentum last week, despite this long red candle. We can see that on MACD's histogram right here. So 2 in a row. I mean, that's the start of a reversal or at least a dead cat bounce. That would be actually very nice. We're going to look at the day, and then we're going to go to Ethereum. So don't worry. Actually, we should do a spam off at some point. We need more chatting going on. More chatting. Bring me the chatters. That's right. More chatters. Where did this go? On the day, we were kind of opened with this, but let me see. Okay. We were looking for this as well, and actually, I am happy. This is good. So when we look at money flow, the red blob here, I'm bringing this to the front. Look at this red blob here. We can see that our highs, or these are our lows, because they're negative. Our lows are slowly coming up. That's 1, 2, now potentially 3 lows that have come up on money flow. Usually that does distinguish a trend, or at least tell us the daily time frame is looking to roll over and move back into positive money flow. The timing on that can be almost impossible or difficult. Usually it is not a fast trip, but with potentially our third higher low, that's a nice sign. We talked about this as well. We saw momentum fell and started to roll back, started to pull down on price again, and we said, what we're going to hope for is we get a Jason Casper special, which is the uneven butt cheeks. And it does look like that's what's happening. Usually when you get this uneven butt cheeks, probability says you look for upside. On a good close today, we're going to have pretty high confidence in that. I really want to see this money flow come up. I like that VWAP is positive with the weekly. Everything is set and primed to go, but you can see the problem. Everything looks great, but we haven't accomplished anything. So all of that can just go away with a bad close, with a sell-off into the last hour of a daily. All of this can go away. So let's not get excited, but let's keep our eyes open. Can be some, there could be some surprises afoot coming here in July. So take a peek at Ethereum. Take a peek at Ethereum. It's a good end of the day. I just ate a rotisserie chicken. It's like in my teeth. It's gross. All right. Ethereum, actually on its third day of green. Weirdly, a little different than Bitcoin. That's okay. Really working its way through resistances. You can see this price action on the daily for Ethereum, the falls, and then the flat movements, then the falls. That's creating future resistance. And you can see that in play right here as price rejected from virtually what is this area. It looked to find support here, but now has kind of come back into it. What I could see happening here is maybe some kind of Adam and Eve painting out with this V-shaped bottom on the daily and then a much rounder, lower volume return to the high. That would be cool. It's kind of just speculating out into the future, though. There's not much to back that up. I think I need to add this to our chart. This is probably going to be our bad boy resistance. 1, 2, 3, 6. Let's make that big. There we are. There we are. Momentum popping up. We have that uneven butt cheeks potential. Still just doesn't look as bullish as Bitcoin, unfortunately, on the daily Ethereum. Not quite. Let's see. Didn't reach its lowest point in RSI on the day. Yeah, Ethereum just in not quite the same condition. This is interesting. Really nothing about that market cycle or the market cycle we're in was reflective of the previous. And so I'm not sure what to expect. Typically, if we were entering a bear market right now, I would say Bitcoin should go down in dollar value and altcoins are going to get slaughtered against Bitcoin. They're going to drop a lot harder. I don't know. That's what I would expect if we were looking for what happened before. But almost nothing we saw happen in the previous cycles happened this time. And so it almost doesn't make sense to do that anymore. Is what it is. The only saving grace here that I do like about Ethereum is it does seem to have held on the monthly. I don't know how well you can see, but held on the monthly its previous all-time high, January 1st, 2018's close. That I do like. That is a very confidence building. Or did it just miss it? I thought it did catch it. Maybe it's like the weekly. Was it the week? I don't know. It looked like it for a second. Anyway, screw it. Order block, kind of the same setup. We have that weekly consolidation here. Ethereum already testing it, so maybe Bitcoin's going to follow. Perhaps, possibly. Money flow is just dipping into red. That's different. Ooh, but Ethereum did close its green dot last week. All right, so diverging from Bitcoin. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Ethereum's a little more bullish. We did get a close with this green dot last week. Momentum is lower. I'm not comfortable with this setup, to be honest. If Ethereum can take back 1,200, I think it's going to see significant upside. If you look at the pinned message here, it says to hit the like button, but next to it is a link that has a playlist of basically just short videos I made from these live streams. One of them is Ethereum, where I go over my thoughts on why I think Ethereum is likely to return to 1,400, if not higher, if not even back to the 1,700 level. And none of that excludes kind of what's going on. We could easily see it return to that point of consolidation, reject, and go lower. Definitely in the cards because we haven't seen really any kind of dead cat bounce. We haven't seen any kind of real... We haven't seen any moves that are going to convince market participants that the market is trending back up. And for me, that's the fundamental, or that's the most important thing. It's the most important thing about a dead cat bounce is people have to believe it. You have to believe it's real. If it doesn't, if you don't believe it, it doesn't accomplish what it's supposed to do, which is get people on the wrong side of the trade. Ooh, we just hit 420 viewers. Can we hit 420 likes? We have 190. We can do it right now. Let's get our 420 license. If you haven't hit that like button, smash it. Smash it. If you haven't subscribed, there's only 2 people that have subscribed this whole live, which is weird. There hasn't been a lot of new subscribers. People are bored, busy, doing summer, but we'd love to have you. Come join us. Come join us. Let's look at this monthly quick. Ethereum, if we're going to look at it in the same way we did Bitcoin, needs to return to 2,000 in a monthly candle to bullish engulf. Again, Seems like a lot to ask. That's almost 100% gain. Probably not likely. To go back to the quarterly open would be 3,200. That's more likely, in my opinion. Over the next 3 months, we could see a very slow bounce, slow recovery of the market. And then what happens really once these macro charts, these big caps get back, let's say to their golden pocket, their golden retrace. So something like this. I think this is another reason I was looking at 1,700 or 2,000. 2,000. Once they make it back on these big retraces, that's really when the market is going to decide what's happening. It can't indefinitely fall forever like it has been. It's just been straight down, no bounce. You can't do that mathematically because you just very quickly go into negative infinity. Nothing can stay parabolic in either direction. Everything that moves exponentially has to expand and contract. They can't just do one. All right. Ethereum looks like taking a hit here at 1126, right in that. You fell. This is funny. Yeah, this is essentially that order block on the weekly. I think is right here, right? You fell below it. Now you're coming back and touching it, testing that liquidity. Order blocks have such a high chance to be retested. It's wild. It's wild. They're created by this striping of candles, red, green, or green, red, green. The area in the candle that's sandwiched, this green one here, that is where the order block is from its open till its close. They usually act as support or as resistance, depends on where price is. Let's see, Ethereum, what are you looking like on a short time frame? There's only one thing that I actually do like about kind of this upside action right now, and we're talking about down on like the hourly time frame, is for once RSI is actually putting in higher highs with price, we almost always see lower highs on RSI with higher highs on price, which is bearish divergence. It is rare in crypto, honestly, for that not to be the case. And there we go. We might have actually gotten it. So we have it on Bitcoin now. We didn't earlier. Right here, we have a high and we have a lower high. And what did price do? Price went, we'll go by the closes. We had a high and then a higher high. This bearish divergence. I usually go by the wicks, but I have been moving more towards the closes lately. Trading is a forever journey of learning. You never know everything. Man, that does look like it's kind of breaking down now, doesn't it? Let's go back to Bitcoin here. Be ugly on the 5. Pretty ugly on the 5. It looks like it wants to catch. Here's what I think it wants to do. Either something like this, play out this descending wedge pattern. I think it might even try to do something closer to this major level and then get rejected. At least on the 5, I'm just not seeing kind of that long-term strength. Maybe just a little pop. 15, though, looking all right. Momentum is remaining positive. This is not very common over the last few months. If you just kind of blur your eyes and look at this chart, you can kind of tell that most of the blue is on the bottom. Most of the momentum, most of the time spent has been negative. That has been keeping price down, pushing price down, or as a result of price being pushed down, whatever. It's all the same. A little bit nicer there on the 15. If that can translate out to, say, the hourly, on the 45, not bad, actually. Or on the 30, not bad. 45 is a little uglier. What about the hour? I'm torn, man. I can see our highs coming up, our lows coming up, our money flow bubbling in. This is what we want to see for an upside move. Where's the follow through? Where's the follow through? We got 24 minutes left in this candle. And it looks like it's just rejecting off of 19.9. It could be some resistance made here that's back testing as support, but this is a low time frame. I think that's worth talking about. Let's pull up. What do I have next? I think I have XRP next. XRP closed a pretty ugly weekly. This is what we were hoping wouldn't happen. This is another one of the short videos pinned to the top in that playlist. So we were hoping this wouldn't happen. I was really hoping that XRP would move a little higher into this week, maybe test that 40-cent range. It did not. In fact, it closed a bearish engulfed weekly, which is a very ugly sign. We can see a nice green bullish engulfed weekly, followed by a bearish engulfed weekly. So we're getting thrown through the hoop here. The saving grace, or why I'm still looking for upside in XRP. Not my favorite coin by any means, but on a technical level, the reason is 30 cents, 30 and a half cents, 3305, whatever. Major level. Goes all the way back through basically all of XRP's history. Huge support built here. And what we saw was the weekly fall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 12 out of 13 weeks in a row were red. With one tiny little green, you would say there's no reason to be bullish. Well, the only reason I am right now is it seems to be respecting this macro support level. If it can hold that, especially on a weekly time frame, I think it actually looks pretty good for a move back. I don't know, 50 cents. You can see higher than that. But if you close a candle below, I think this looks awful. And honestly, even if you break your wick low back here in June, if you break this, what is this? 28.6 cents, then this chart goes out the window. But as long as it's holding here, it's looking decent. And what that gives us as traders is a way to make a risk to reward analysis, decide if the trade's right for us, take it if it is, ignore it if it isn't. I like things that are teetering on support because I get to put my stops so close to them. Even if I don't win a higher percent than I lose, I end up profiting because my stops are so close. So close. On XRP, from our high, assuming our low is in, we'd be looking back to about $1. As I said, that's the 618 retrace. This is got to be a fundamental level to XRP, simply because it is like everything. We can see that pretty well. Support here, resistance, support, resistance, rejected down to support again. If the market gets hot, 93 cents I think is very much in the cards for XRP, but we're so far away. That means no closes lower. You have to even get through this order block up here from our weekly. We have this on almost every chart at 40 cents. We're not out of the woods yet, but we keep an eye on it anyway. Keeping an eye anyway. What about ADA? I didn't look at ADA today. Did you look at ADA today? You would hope that something's happening with the Vassal fork, right? Right? What's up, Mr. Robert? How you doing, man? Crypto Crab, man. Gold 13 Dragon, how you doing? DGB? Maybe we look at DGB. We're getting through the large caps first. DGB, I've had my alerts set for like 2 years. I haven't gone off yet. Can't see the thing. It's on there. It's yellow, though. Let me make it white. There you go. It gets too visually cluttered if it's like too visible. There we go. ADA is still not showing signs of life, even with this Vassal thing. That's why I said news. We don't really pay attention to news because it just doesn't seem to correlate very often. In a bull market, good news, everything goes up. In a bull market, not even good news, things go up. It just doesn't seem really related to the news, actually. Like right now, here we go. ADA just announced Vassal, big improvement, testnet's live. We're going to go live with it soon. Price is exactly where it's been all month. Exactly, really where it's been last month, and even in May. Just about that 50-cent mark. Today, very low volatility. Very similar day to yesterday, actually. Ooh, where's my market cipher? I gotta add market cipher on here. There we go, baby. This does have some of the similarities we saw on Bitcoin with the low, with a higher low, and then maybe we're seeing a third higher low. But it's not quite there yet. With momentum reaching lower, it's not as confidence building. It's funny, ADA and XRP kind of in the same boat. So this is not financial advice. This is literally just me showing an example. The reason that I do like these kind of setups is because I'm not taking this trade. This is just being put up here as an example, is we can look at these low wicks with using low leverage, and we can look to basically just stop below them. If I was more conservative, I probably would look to stop below that 34 cent, the major support from all the way back here on the chart, but we're not going to go into that. I would probably use that. And then you can look for the upsides basically at what? Your golden pocket retraces. Let's throw this on. This is not a real trade. I'm not going to take it, but I'm just using it as an example. Maybe back to 78 cents. That's not a super great risk to reward, is it? Not really. Not as good as I'd hoped. The smarter man probably plays it like this. There we go, baby. There we go. Now you're looking at a 6-1. Basically, bottom line is you can set stops so tightly. And this is just for degen for trading. This is not for investing. This is for someone who's bored and looking for something to do, these kind of trades. I don't really recommend it. I do them here because it's entertaining and it's content. Doesn't mean you have to always be trading at home. I say this a lot, but 90% or more of the time in crypto or in trading in general, not trading is the right move. You do not always have to be short or long. In fact, that sounds like a very stressful existence. Very stressful existence. Nothing looks great on that, does it? Cardano in the same boat as it was every video because it hasn't freaking moved. I'd love to cover it, but there's nothing new. I would expect or was hoping a little excitement from this Vassal stuff, but if you lose 38 cents, you do have a very macro support at 34. The problem with that macro support at 34 is if it doesn't hold, you basically have a free fall down into the teens of cents. That was really the last time Cardano built any support. We see that back here. We can see that back here. This didn't actually quite make it. Would have made the chart prettier. But if you lose that area, you have nothing to hold you up. So tight stops, if you're doing, recommended in my opinion. But make your own decisions. This isn't financial advice. Let's look at my trade to see if anything happened. So we started this stream and our trade was down 0.5%. Now it's up 1.5%. Not really exciting. Nothing is filled. We haven't been stopped yet. Let's go to a higher time frame. These are all the orders I feel. Are we lagging? Oh yeah, we're disconnected. We just disconnected. Are we back? We just disconnected completely for a second. Is it back? 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 Weird. On my end, it said my connection went to 0, and then instantly it came back and was perfect. It was weird. Doesn't happen often. Profit Taker, thank you, my friend. TLX, what's up? Gaber. Sumanth, yes, thank you. Marius. Remy, my brother. Nydia. Thomas, handsome name. What's up, Crawler? Jay Birdie. Tyson Coin, the Crypto Man. Who else did I miss anybody? Sudeep, good to see you, Sudeep. Foxer. I think I got everyone. Adrian. Hendrick. Doge, we can look at Doge. The previous colored out psychedelic chart was crazy DMT stuff. Which one was that? All of these are crazy DMT stuff. If you look at them close enough. This one. Anybody on DMT out there legally for prescription or whatever, have a good time. Have a good time watching the charts Google around. Something that is on my mind definitely is the dollar today. The dollar, I guess it's still trading, even though it's a holiday. It says Trading View. Hasn't really moved anywhere. It's on my mind because it does look strong, I think, to that 108. But something that's nice is if we don't see a good breakout or a strong breakout, maybe even into this week, you really do get an ascending channel or an ascending wedge. And when you get ascending wedges on big time frames, you almost always see them break to the downside. Almost always. I'd like to see the dollar give up a little bit of its steam here, or at least just chill the F out for a while. It has been parabolic since the start of 2021. Likely the reason stocks, crypto, everything has been feeling the pain, among other reasons. But I'm hoping we see it play out this way with maybe this kind of price action, fake out, and drop. That would be ideal. That would be ideal. I don't love it hanging out right here into like what will be the market open tomorrow. I don't want to see it break out. If it does, I really hope it stops at 108, because if it doesn't, your targets are set way higher, and that just throws chaos into all markets. Not looking forward to that. Bitfinex long is one of our other favorite little secret indicators. We have to zoom in all goofy to see it. We have been seeing Bitfinex longs close, but now in the last 2 days they're starting to open again. What we need to see, absolutely, is for them to not reach back to their high. We do not want to see them reach back to their highs and go higher. Typically, Bitfinex longs, or in the past, we have seen they open parabolically. They go to a new all-time high of total Bitfinex longs open, or whatever they call it. And what happens is Bitcoin price tends to be trending down at the time, and once they stop opening, we have seen historically the bottom be in for Bitcoin. We have seen them stop opening here, but this is just not enough yet. If we look at the chart, if we don't just zoom in selectively, this hasn't really fallen yet. It's fallen a little bit. It's definitely lost maybe some of its momentum. It was going virtually straight up for a very long time. These are weekly candles. I wish this is what Bitcoin price looked like. But on the week, you can see 2 red weeks closed, but just not a significant retracement. I think if we see Bitfinex longs close in a meaningful manner, I would say maybe 20,000 or more, maybe break towards that weekly close back here, then we might start saying Bitfinex longs is signaling a bottom. At the moment, it's too early. There's not enough retracement. You really have to zoom in. Like, you really have to zoom in to see it. This was a much bigger retracement. When did that end? April of 22. I don't think that lines up very well with anything. But just not enough yet, but you guys better believe I'll let you know. When I see it happening, I'll let you know. That's right. How about LTC BTC? It's just chilling. I watch it every single day. It's just chilling. Hasn't broken up, hasn't broken down. It looks much better than it's looked for the last few years. That's what I think. Dollar's still long in the future. What's up, Tony? Yo, Optical Arts here. What's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing? Agreed, he sucks. That is the real one. Well, I hope so. I can prove it. Wait, go to channel. There we go. See? It is the real one because I click go to channel. Woo! Woo, woo. Sounds. Go ahead. Follow Optical Art. He's been doing live stream TA, I think actually longer than I have. Longer? Maybe around the same. I don't remember. 2019. You've probably been around longer. Tezos. Oatmeal and Coke. That sounds awful, man. Happy 4th. Happy 4th, DGen chat. Yeah, if you're here, you're probably a DGen. It's 4th of July. You're not out eating burgers or dogs, getting drunk. You're watching the chart dry. That's okay. I'm sitting here doing the same thing, so we'll all do it together. It's great to have you. I'm blown away that only... Oh, we had a 3rd subscriber. How have we only had 3 subscribers? Jack Borden's. I don't know. It's okay. It's the 4th, baby. We got a lot of viewers, though. Not a lot of likes. We have only 300 likes and we have 800 watching. That seems odd. Can we get 420 likes, please? We can do it. I believe in you. If you put your mind to it. Smash the like button if you want to see me get liquidated. If we get 420 likes, I probably will. We'll see what happens. My trade's right back to where I opened it. I will admit I feel a little bit better about it than we first started streaming. Prices come down. Back to where I was. Back to where we opened. This green line is virtually where we opened anyway. Man. I'm having trouble getting a read on price action right now. This is what I was like looking at earlier, something like this. Possibly with the test back to 19.9. Looks like that's like kind of come true. We have this rounding or flatter bottom with a nice green candle poking out. I don't know. Usually I can get a good read. Today I'm getting very kind of mute signals, mute readings. For those of you just joining us, this is what we were looking at earlier. Just some kind of ascending, gosh, I cannot click. Some kind of ascending wedge, which is not usually the most bullish pattern. Usually we see that break to the downside. I will say, a little hopium, you could see this play out this way and then break back to 19.9. And if 19.9 then holds as support, you're taking like a free ticket up. You're taking a quick ride to, I'd say 20.4, maybe as high as 20.7. I still think we're going to test 22.5 at some point. It would be wild to see Bitcoin not go back to the 20-week moving average like at all. That would be very uncharacteristic. You can see we lost it on the weekly. We fell right through it. We did find some buyers, but we never went back to the 20-weekly. The 20-weekly is still trending up. It's at about 22.5. I think if you don't think that's possible, then you're crazy. I backtested the 200 weekly. It, to me, is like almost too obvious. It just hasn't happened yet. I think the worst case scenario would be a back test on that 200, but it happened quick. Say we get some kind of short squeeze, cascading liquidation, price shoots up, even worse, shoots a little bit through it, and then gets very sold off before the close, back below the 200 weekly. That would likely be an extremely bearish signal. Likely be a signal to go short. It's weird. We're just cruising. We're just like cruising. We haven't made new lows. We haven't made new highs. We're just kind of sitting sideways under the 200 weekly moving average. Truly, this is the cycle of firsts for Bitcoin. Truly. Now, here's where I pointed out that we have gone below a previous all-time high before. But that's not what I went here for. I wanted to go here for our 200 weekly. This is not it. We're going to look at BLX here for a minute. And we're going to look at the 200 weekly. Week length 200. 9,200. Cool. So we have closed below it. We've actually never closed below it on a monthly time frame, which we did last month. June closed below the 200 weekly moving average. We've never seen a monthly close before it, but we have seen weekly candles and daily candles. These are dailies. We've seen them flirt around below it. I didn't actually look at this. It's interesting because this is a daily time frame. We did kind of move below it and then kind of just trade sideways. Now, these are days, not weeks, but that's actually nice. I'm glad that that's the case here. You can see it's sideways trading. It did come back to test it. So it's not quite the same example. Let's go back further. For most of Bitcoin's history, it's been kind of like a bump and run, like touch it and go up. You can see the buying action in December 2018. Price fell to 3,100-ish. Why is it doing that? 3,100-ish. Then rallied to 4,200-ish for like a 34% gain very quickly off the 200. We haven't seen that. We had a near miss here. And then we went off to, God, the next year of awful. So you have to go back very far, and this is kind of where I was pointing at. Back here in 2015, we did a very similar thing. We touched 200 weekly moving average twice. The second time, the price action is a little more reflective of today, with the fall of price and the sideways move. But something that stands out that is unique or different now, each of these times, we either retook the 200 weekly very quickly, or we at least came back. You can see we at least came back to test it. We then did move sideways. That was okay. Price, ended up going to 20K after that. But we don't see that same kind of energy pushing price back to the 200. That's a little concerning to me. This looks a little bit more reminiscent of what's going on now. Multiple weekly candles closing below the 200. So this isn't like unheard of and apocalyptic, but it's an uncomfortable place to be. Whenever you're encountering kind of a first in Bitcoin, it can be uncomfortable, and maybe it should be because we don't have past history to judge it by. There it is. You fell through, and now you're not doing anything. It's a little odd. It's a little odd to me. The 200 weekly has been kind of a coveted buying price wherever it is at any time for as long as I've known Bitcoin. And this is the first time I've ever seen it hit and just kind of nothing. People aren't excited. Maybe people were excited about it all the way up here at like 50K. People were like, man, I would love to buy a 20K. And then we hit 20K and people were like, man, nah, it's too risky. It was much less risky at 60K. It's too risky now. Too risky. I really hope this doesn't play out this way because it will stop me out. I'll be okay if we get stopped out. This might be the most boring price action day. Of course, I decided I had to go live on a holiday because I was like, people are going to need charts, man. They're not going to want to do holiday stuff. But the chart apparently doesn't want that. We got more viewers. We got 40 more likes and we've gained at least 40 viewers. See? Pretty much every time you hit the like button, someone new joins. I think we should do a spam off. I don't know what chart to do next. So let's do a spam off. If you want to see a chart, I don't care what it is. It doesn't have to be a big cap. If you want to see a chart, just put the ticker in. I'm going to put mine in. I'm going to say LTC. You can even just write spam. 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 LTC. Ha. You are a bot. Marius is a bot confirmed. All right, Algo. ERSDL. Never heard of that, Mateo. Doge. Sol. We can do Doge. Cosmos. Sol. Wow. Wow. I'm seeing Doge and Sol, so I'm going to pull up Doge and Sol. What else do you want to see? Bot. YFI. Vet. Eth. Algo. Vet. Sand. Polkadot. Vet. There we go. This is the kind of spamming I was looking for. That's some high quality spamming. AVAX. Marius spamming Cum Rocket. YouTube won't let you say that. They won't let you say that. AVAX 1. Wieners. Did someone say wieners? That's pretty funny. All right, there's Doge. Ollie. BCH vet dot dash. What did I say? Doge and Sol. There's not a lot going on the Sol chart. I already know that because we just looked at it. ICP. Clit. That's not one before crypto. That's not a real one. QNT super. GARI algo. Let's end this. Let's throw them up there. Rune. I can see Rune. Rune is the highest gainer today. Let's put a bunch of these on a poll. Which ones did I see a ton? I already pulled up a bunch. We'll put sand on there. Saw one person with dash. We'll put AVAX. That's a bigger cap. We'll do, I don't know, SLP for some reason. Sure. And let's mix it up with, let's mix up a link. There you go. I'm putting a vote. There you go. You can use the voter. Use the voter thingy. Actually, Sol, not bad. Stay tuned for Sol. I'm going to Doge first. That monthly didn't look terrible. I'll tell you why in just 1 second. Just 1 second. Hey, Tom. Hey, George. What's up, George? Dude. Is dude a chart? D-U-D-E, dude. WTA, I have no idea. All right, so Doge. There is a playlist pinned to the top of this chat right now. In that playlist, there is a Doge one. I think it's the first one on the playlist. But let's do a little update. That's still worth watching after the stream. Woo or Floki. I don't know if I've ever even looked at Floki. Doge. Actually, not bad. Not bad. Close the bullish engulfing weekly. Yep. That's my timer to remind me not to stream indefinitely and burn myself out. Doge. All right. It did fully touch 7.8 cents. Came back down. Closed above 6.66 cents. You got a green candle on the week. All right. It's too early for the week. But, okay. If you look at that Doge video, literally if you watch it after this live, we said we might look for a higher low and a retest. This arrow, I think, is from when I made that video and was saying higher low. I think Shiv was in the same scenario. That gives us a pretty favorable trade. This gives us a pretty favorable trade. Nothing we say here is financial advice, ever. Under any circumstance, not even if there's a fire. But this gives me an idea. Don't do this. Make your own decisions. Let's put it down to like the hourly. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay, what kind of risk reward are we at? 6. That's a little higher than we need. Let's take it down to 9. What's it look like at 7? 2.61. That's not even bad. I think I'm gonna do 2. Let's give this one like a little more leeway because we're gonna move the TP a little higher. Okay, I like that. I like that. Let's do a third. There we go. I think that there's a trade to be made here. I'm not going to tell you what it is because you have to make your own trades. And if I tell you what I think it is and it's wrong, then you're going to blame me. And that's financial advice I don't give. But I can very much see a trade being made using even just these values that are in front of us. I think correspondingly, we could even have a trade in another direction going. I think we can look to take a short. Where would we stop? That's 16%. That's too much. I think we could look to take a short from 7.8 or 782 cents. Where I would put the target for that though is hard. This is hard. Because we got to make the risk to reward worth it. So we're really going to be playing this close. It's not good. Maybe something like that. I wish trades could have like an outline color. They can't, apparently. So this is going to be hard to see, but basically... Ooh, how can I do this easily? Basically, here we go. This is what that could look like. Not financial advice. I'm not going to take this trade. But this would be playing off of the fake out scenario where we end up into some kind of falling wedge, maybe. We'd take that short. Or, I think with a higher probability, you probably look to that 666. This is a good number. Psychological number. For some kind of play on an ascending low pattern. So we might see maybe a third higher low play out of this. If we get, I would say if we get 3 touches, we're looking for 10 cents. If, and this is why the trading, calculating out risk to reward, if our low breaks here, which is a like 6 cents flat, a little bit higher, if our low breaks here, then we're not really looking at this pattern anymore. We don't have our lows ascending. What we'd be looking at then is probably some kind of inverse head and shoulders play out on a smaller time frame. You have your left, your head, that would be your right on a break of the neckline at 6-ish cents. And then maybe you see price discovery to the downside and you see a falling channel develop. These are pretty much, this is like what goes through my head when I look at charts. All the different patterns that are painting at the same time. And there's always many. There's always multiple. Markets are never easy to read. They're never going to give you their secrets wizard. You could see something like that play out with a descending channel that we'd eventually look for it to break to the upside, but that could take a very long time. I think the play right now, with how much downside the markets have seen with such a little relief, I think the plays are short-term to the upside, but with the caveat of you have defined invalidations. You have defined price points where if price goes there, you're out of that position. You're no longer thinking that way. They're kind of teetering. A lot of these charts are teetering there, making them very spicy for trades. But know your risks. Know your risks, everyone. Do your own risk and searching. Okay, cool. Well, there's a bunch of trades on Doge that aren't financial advice, but they're very realistic. Very realistic. There's likely even a more aggressive short to be taken. There's likely even a more aggressive short. Hold on. Let me take that. Okay. Okay. Let's see how these play out. Visual order, send it back. No. Okay. Sorry, hold on here. That's good. There we are. Okay. Let's see. We'll come back. I'll set alerts on these. I think I'll put an alert for when it enters. Oh, I don't have alerts left. TradingView, give me more alerts. There you go. Those are the 2 ways I see Doge playing out. Seriously, those are the 2 ways. It's either you have a descending channel that's going to bring you to lower lows and eventually break to the upside, or you're looking for this. That's it. That's really all I see. It could obviously play out in a totally different, unique way, but these are what I think are the most logical trades. Let's go to Sol. I want to see your art on ERSDL potential trade. Ha 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 ha. Please, Tom, please. Maybe. Let me get through Sol. Poll's pretty close there. Not a lot of votes, though. Guys, we have almost 1,000 viewing. We don't have 420 likes yet. I hate to be a diva about it. But I need my 420 license or I get grumpy. Okay. Sol, actually, seeing some things I'm not too upset about here. We identified pretty much what is the only support on Sol. This consolidation on the way up, marked by the red monthly candle right here. And it's essentially from its open to its close. That's 42.85 to 3285. We kind of argued that maybe 1972 could have some support for us. That's seen on the weekly time frame, which I'll zoom into in just a second. Maybe, but I don't have strong confidence. And the problem then with Sol is if you lose this area, you don't have much. Maybe 1972 in like a crazy play saves you, but much more realistically, you're looking for that major support below. The problem is that's like $4 from 20. It's a huge downside. I don't like that. Don't like that. A stop loss on any Sol trade right now is going to be really important. What I do like, though, about this monthly close is we can see that though during last month we traded lower, all the way down to $25, $26, before the month ended, buyers came in and settled up above the previous monthly support level. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's not necessarily enough to end a downtrend. It can be, but not necessarily enough. Last week closed as a bearish engulf, but again, seemingly respecting 3285. I want to see 3285 hold. In fact, and we just started this week, I can't say I don't want to see it broken again. Not yet. On the weekly, though, your momentum's looking pretty sweet. I didn't look at this. You have a second wave of waning momentum here, and you might even have an uneven butt cheeks, according to Jason Casper. I don't know if we can even call him that on MACD, but I can kind of see that uneven butt cheek, that deep push to the downside, followed by a gentler, less deep push to the downside. That looks like it's rolling over. The daily or the weekly looks almost exactly the same as Ethereum on Market Cipher B, which is not my favorite. Likely, if one of them breaks out, I would guess they're both going to do the same thing. Daily is super sketchy. A lot of potential here, but super sketchy. Your attempt at moving price up right here by the bulls on the daily time frame got squashed. Like, you had this big run, then bears took complete control through April, May. They gave up a little bit of ground, but were able to take it back. They didn't allow bulls to run away with it. But, I say that, but if you guys are Tom Crown viewers, you might already know what I'm looking at here. Our highs. 13 more likes and we're all going to be highs. We have 704. Let's get 720. Or 407. Let's get 420. Our highs, we had a low point in money flow. We had a lower point in money flow, which created... Let's put this line here. It's hard to draw on this indicator. This is my single complaint at all about Market Cipher. I love the tool. My only complaint, it's a little hard to draw on when I'm streaming. That gives us this value, negative 42.8. We can see money flow has broken it and is trending down. Typically when this happens, we look for it to roll over. Now, this is ugly. This was not what I want it to be. But if you look at what's happening right now, VWAP is coming up. Momentum could be pinching. Not quite. Could be. Likely tomorrow. If it does, we can have a very strong setup on our hands. A higher high here with a lower high here will be a very strong argument that money flow is looking to roll over into the positive territory. This is not one I don't know if this is one I would take a trade on. There's too much uncertainty, but I can see it unfolding. Money flow being the big hint there. Money flow really being the hint there. Maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I would. This is kind of spicy. I'm going down to the hourly. Sol really respecting this support, it seems. Okay, well, this is obviously super ugly. Okay, super ugly. But I think your invalidation can be so tight that it actually might not matter. You know what this looks like? This right here. If we ignore that this is on the hourly time frame, this looks exactly, in my opinion, like Bitcoin on the daily back here. I think it looks like this. Do you see it? Maybe I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. That's totally... You got this. All right, see that? Come on. You got this. Consolidate down, drop. I don't know. It looks similar to me. Not really a bullish thing then, but I'm not hating this. I'm not hating this. I think ideally we want this to be a higher low. Do the stop under 30.91, or we can do the stop under 25, but that's a huge gap. So I think this trade I would approach with multiple stances. I love this song. I don't know if you can hear it. You can find me in LA. 2.7? That's not good enough. It's not good enough. We're going to have to be a bit more of sticklers on this one. Do you have any significant closes? I'll take it. We might miss it. It might end up playing out like this anyway. Womp. We'll see. But I like it because your invalidation, your entry can be so defined and your invalidations can be so defined that it just makes for clean trades. Doesn't mean you win them, but it means you know when to get out of them. I thought I did. Okay. You know when to get out of a trade, and that's honestly more important than knowing when to get in it. Measured move brings you right back to like where this bounced from. 60 bucks, 59, whatever. So if Sol breaks 42.85, I'll definitely be looking for about 60. And if it doesn't, let's see. Yep, obviously 1972. Down line up. That's pretty much how I see this going. I think that there's likely kind of channel bound sideways trading opportunities in this area. I think if you break 42.8, you're going to 60. If you break 32.8, you're likely going down to that 1972. Sol's an interesting chart. Definitely looks better than when we last looked at it. I'm glad we actually pulled that up. Let me see. My trades, literally nothing has happened. When we started this stream, price was like right here or right here. It's 100. It's like 100 plus or minus, which is 0.5%. We've stated the exact same price plus or minus 0.5%. This entire stream. Awesome. Super awesome. 420 likes. We did it, fam. I love you. You guys are the best. We did it. You are the champions. Sand has companies on board. All right, I'm gonna pull. We'll do Sand like super quick. I haven't looked at Sand. I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason that we haven't looked at Sand recently is because I had a very bearish forecast on it. It came true. You can go back into last year. No, not last year. You can go back to like January, February of this year, and look for streams where I looked at Sand, and you will see me draw this exact thing out with a target of $1. The one thing that wasn't perfect about this was we never saw 255 fully touched before we fell to $1. That's it. Perfect trade. Perfect. Wow. Okay, so I see why you're interested in it today as well. So you had a little bit of that price action under $1, hunting out any kind of traders looking to stop at $1. You retraced back to your consolidation level. Now you're here. Interesting. I'd feel more comfortable at that $1 than I would up here at $1.20. I would not be touching this, hoping that it breaks out. This looks pretty cool. Definitely has some potential, but you're going to have to break through, what is this, like 122. And if you look to the left, this has been the level. Like, price fell from support. It fell out of our flat bottom descending high pattern. It fell to our exact target. Had a little wee bounce, but that's where it consolidated. It distributed coins out, dumped farther, and now it's back. You have a lot of resistance there. But if you can break through it, you are looking for a retracement. You never made it back to 255, so that could still be on the table. But I wonder if there's something that's going to line up better. Not really. Not really. Huh. This chart just needs to be forever. I need to, like, enshrine this chart. This is one of my greatest charts of all charcuterie. Let's see. Copy a link to the image. Cup and handle. I mean, that you can call it a cup and handle if you want, but that's some hope. That's some hope. Did this work? There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the Discord. You should also join the Discord because after the live stream, we do airdrops. You'll get some free Satoshis. That's right. Free Bitcoin. There really is no such thing as free Bitcoin, but we do give away some, and it's like Satoshis. Don't get too excited, but it's something. You'll have more sats than you did earlier. My play here on sand would probably be something like this. As I always say, not financial advice, because I don't do that. But I do share how I might approach a trade from time to time. I might approach it somewhere like this. Let's see. Come on. Give me that sweet 3. There we go. I might approach it something like this. You run the risk of eventually that, yeah, of course, breaking to the upside. But what you're kind of playing here is, all right, we're looking for rejection from our distribution, our resistance zone. And if we get it, we're going to look for a 618 retracement. So that's from 72 cents to that resistance at 135. Boom, brings you back to 93 cents for a sweet little take. Sweet little take. That's right. That's right. Let's see how that plays. If that gets stopped, because it's a very tight stop loss. Oh, it's not nearly as tight as I thought it was, actually. That's what she said. I want this to be tighter. All right, good enough. If this breaks on a stop loss, then you're probably moving back to $1.80. Yeah. To be honest, I didn't expect sand when I opened it. I didn't expect it to have that clean, maybe double bottom on the daily, clean touch to $1, and then this nice candle. I would wait, personally, on a position for sand. I want to see what happens with this day. This day settling up, if it can settle above $1.28, all of a sudden this chart can look really good. We can see that reflected here on Market Cypher B. Shout out to Market Cypher, by the way. That didn't work. Shout out to Market Cypher, our sponsor. Just legit the most valuable trading tool I've ever used. I use it every single day here. Just saying. So, Market Cypher on daily here. Here's what I like. We have our money flow set up. Our highs have come down, whatever. We had a high, we had a higher high, but we've broken our low. So we're looking for it to roll over. Doesn't happen right away, but it just tends to trend that way once you see this happen. What I like here is momentum. We did get sold off, just like on the last chart we looked at, but we see that maybe it's already. Maybe the bulls haven't given up here. And this kind of touch to the zero line on momentum can be very powerful, especially with a long time frame money flow rolling over. What I usually would look for then is for a higher high on momentum that could bring you back to 225. There's some promise here. The only thing is right now in this second today, this is being distorted. Right here is being distorted. This looks extra good because currently this daily candle is awesome. But if this daily candle sells off, let's say it sells down to $1.12, that's likely going to change. This momentum won't be pinching, and it'll look to do just a classic dump. Classic dump. It's like, and then you'll see money flow do this. Probably. Something like that. Slightly higher low. And who knows where price ends up there. But this is cool. I don't usually look at sand. I kind of like what we're seeing here. I kind of like this setup. It's interesting. It has good invalidation. Good invalidation. What I like about it. It's 4:23. I promised myself I wouldn't do a 2-hour stream. Budge. I don't even know what that is. I have to cancel a bunch of these old. Yeah, that one I probably needed, but oh well. I want alerts on this. This is cool. I'm even going to put alert at the dollar. Cool. See how that plays out. If it reaches $1, I think you can do the reverse. I think a lot of these are going to be chop trades for a while until the market really shows us something. There we go. 2.35. I think it can be played either way. It can be played from the resistance or from the support. The one way you don't want to play it is from just the middle of nowhere, which is essentially right now, which is why I'm a little skeptical on this candle. Cool. Didn't go anywhere. What's up, Sumanth? Loop Ring TA Boss. Well, thank you. Sultan Mohammed Afghani also subscribed. Welcome. Jesse Schmidt. Miguel Santos. I missed these. Why did these not? Toby Hodges. K0X7A. Jack Bordens. Torrell Monton. Yeah, I got everybody. Not a lot of subscribers today. Hasn't been the super hypiest day, but not bad. We've disconnected a few times. We're still short. It does look like that short's starting to pay. Now we're up at 2% instead of 1.5. Half an hour is ending. I'm not going to lie to you guys. You should get in the Discord, and you should follow me on Twitter. So you can keep up with our live streams. We're live here almost every single day, doing TA, taking requests, looking at the major caps in the space. You don't want to miss it. It's the cutting edge alpha, fresh. At the top of the chat there is pinned a playlist. Check out some shorts. Basically, I take these live streams, chop them into 30, 40-second segments so they're easy to digest. And check out our sponsors, Femex and Market Cypher. Links in the video description below. Check out all the links in there. All of our socials are there, including the Discord. You can use promo code CROWN for a 15% off discount on Market Cypher, and Femex will give up to a $4,100 bonus on your first deposit if you deposit it within like a day or two of making the account. I'm trading on Femex right now. I like them as an exchange. There you go. We got another subscriber. That's right. CH Skyline. Skylines is a good game. I think we disconnected again. Do you guys want to see my chart? Think of this. What is going on? We had 99 viewers for a second. Now we have 1,000. I don't know what's happening. I think that's. Excuse me. That was not what I meant to do. Did not mean to burp. I think that's just gonna mark it. It's gonna mark it. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. Enable notifications on YouTube and on your phone. Follow me on Twitter. You know this stuff, guys. Sponsors. I love you all. Happy 4th of July. Hope everyone has a great day. We got 420 likes, so go forth, blaze it, have a beer for me. I'm gonna go enjoy the 4th. I think everyone should do the same. Jump in the Discord. We're still doing the airdrop, and I'll catch you guys. Catch you tomorrow. Crown out.